Hi.
Hello everybody. Sorry for the slightly late start to the webinar. Welcome to today's University of Webinar. My name is Tuan Nguyen and I am the Relationship Manager at Gus Uni for the University of Gloucestershire. We're joined here today by University of Gloucester colleagues, specifically from the Business School. I will shortly hand over to Carla Stanton, who is the International Marketing and Student Recruitment Manager at UOG for South Asia. But before I do that, if I could ask everyone to remain on mute or to mute their microphone for the duration of the webinar. And as a reminder, we are also recording the session. So it's up to you whether you want to leave your webcam on or switch your webcam off. If you have any questions, please enter them in the text box on the bottom and we'll go through them and look to answer them towards the end of the seminar, of the webinar. So thank you all again for attending, and I will now hand over to Carla.
Thanks, Tuan. Hello and welcome everybody. It's great to see so many of you joining our session this morning, where we're going to be focusing on some of our really exciting master's courses within the business school. As Tuan says, I'm the regional manager covering South Asia, so we're really excited to be working with Gus in Uni in India for our Indian student recruitment. I'm pleased to welcome three of our colleagues this morning from the business school. So we have Dr. Dominic Page, who is the head of the Gloucestershire Business School. We have Jun Zhang, who is the course leader for the Masters in International Business. And we have Shri Telepragada, who is the course leader for our Masters in Financial Technology. So they're going to give you an overview of those programs and introduce you to the business school and what we can offer our students. And then at the end, we hope to have about 10 minutes for you to ask some questions face-to-face or in the chat box. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Dom, who is going to introduce you to the Gloucestershire Business School. Thanks, Dom.
Thank you, and thank you very much for spending the time with us today. We're really proud of our postgraduate provision. As you'll see today, there are some really unique features of our programs with a particular focus on ensuring the success in terms of employability, career aspirations of our postgraduate learners. So we'll talk you through some of the unique features in a moment. As Carla has said, I'm head of the Gloucestershire Business School, and postgraduate provision is perhaps one of our strongest assets as a business school. And it's an area where we are increasingly seeing real international appetite because of the way in which we approach postgraduate study, as Shri and Jun will tell you in a moment. I'd just like to take around 2 minutes to give you a very brief overview of the business school itself. And then I'm going to tell you about one of our new flagship courses, which is the Mba Global, which launches this September. As I said, we'll give you a very quick overview of the Mba Global. But importantly, what we're going to show you is the way in which the portfolio very much focuses on the career prospects of our postgraduate students. We understand how important that is, increasingly so, particularly for learners from India, that they can see a real return in their investment in postgraduate study. So we'll talk you through how we've done that really effectively. So we are a leading business school for postgraduate studies. It's a significant part of what makes the school. They're a large part of our learners. We have a far greater proportion of postgraduate students than many other business schools in the UK, and therefore they're really important to us. Significant amount of support, both academic support, but also dedicated career support for postgraduate students. We're very pleased to say that in 2019, we were ranked 6th overall in the UK for the experience of postgraduate research experience. And that makes up a significant part of postgraduate studies is that research component. So we are a UK leading university for that postgraduate research component of postgraduate studies. We have some fantastic resources. We have a brand new £18 million purpose-built business school with industry standard learning spaces, including trading rooms, moot courts for legal advice and legal provision. We have a consulting firm on campus. We have a growth hub where industry can come and interact with our learners, as we do across all of our programs. And we are accredited by all of the major professional bodies in the UK, and we are a chartered business school. We are also currently in the process of finalising our educational partnership status with AACSB, and that will be in place by September. So we will be an educational partner of AACSB by September. And all of these essentially demonstrate to learners that the degrees we offer will prepare them effectively for the careers that they aspire to, either in the UK, but also back in home countries, should that be their aspiration. So alongside all of our programs, the majority of our programs, there will be both the degree, but also professional body accreditation, or a real focus on the types of skills and abilities so vital in future careers. As you'll see, our portfolio is broad. Our learners can access a whole range of potential career aspirations, be that around international business or healthcare or fintech, finance, banking, the financial services, international business and leadership roles. We have a very broad postgraduate portfolio, and we'll talk you through our 3 sort of flagship courses today. So that is a very brief introduction to the school. We'd be very happy to explore that further with you. But for the next 10 minutes or so, I just wanted to talk through the new flagship Global MBA program before I pass on to Shri and to Jun to talk about the flagship International Business and Financial Technology courses that we offer. So as I said, the MBA is CMI accredited. We are a chartered business school as well for our MBA. And it's designed explicitly to kickstart students' careers. There is no expectation of prior work experience to join the global program, and there are a number of really unique features to this program. Firstly, all learners will be able to access our consulting firm, so students can sign up to become trainee consultants, and right from the start of their study on all of our programs, we will expect them to be engaging with industry to really build their future employability. And the Global MBA is one of our postgraduate programs, and Shri's is very similar, where we offer up to 12 months in industry as part of the program. That is competitive, but there's significant support to ensure that learners can get access to that year in industry. And Shri will tell you that all of his learners this year who wanted a placement are currently out on placement as part of his MSc. We are a UK leading, we are the top university for sustainability, and that is embedded in all of our programs. And the MBA Global is very much focused on maximising student potential in terms of those career aspirations, a real focus on building student confidence, on knowledge, and our MBA attracts leading professionals from both the UK and internationally to drive them forward in their career aspirations. Here we have an example of one of our current MBA students who is Chief Technical Officer at Ativo, a financial services company local to campus. Again, huge value in studying our MBA program. But what is the program? Well, it is a flagship 2-year program. Students complete the talk component of the program in the first 12 months, and then they are supported in accessing up to 12 months in industry. So they can do 12 months in industry. In addition, learners can specialise in a range of areas, as I'll show you in a moment. So the first thing, it's a 2-year full-time program, but learners can choose to complete the program in 1 year if they do not wish to access industry experience in the UK. We normally require at least a 2-1, though we will have flexibility and welcome applicants who may not have a 2-1. and we will look at every application on its merit. The first block of this program, we support learners in building the foundations of business knowledge. So we do not necessarily expect them to have had previous business teaching and learning, though, and we accept applicants from a whole range of backgrounds. So that's the first 3 months we build those foundations of business knowledge. But in the second block, learners will focus on building their consultancy knowledge, their work with industry. And as you can see here, we have live clients, and the values of these can be up to £15,000 to £25,000. And the impact on profit has been of anything between £50,000 and £100,000, £150,000. So learners throughout their study will be working with industry as part of their MBA study. Now, students can, and this is one of the major unique features of our program, after their first block, students will be able to select either to stay on a generalist MBA, or they can specialize and change the name of their award to any of those highlighted here. So learners can specialize and have a specialist MBA in financial services management, in supply chain management, in cybersecurity, in healthcare leadership, in entrepreneurship and startup business, and in marketing intelligence and big data. And learners can make that choice after 3 months of study. They can choose which of these specialist routes they wish to pursue. That's a really unique feature of the program. And these specialist routes have been designed explicitly on the basis of where MBA students are likely to find themselves in their careers. So we've designed these explicitly for in-demand areas in the UK labour market and more generally globally. What are the most in-demand areas? So students can specialise and select one of those pathways, and it will change the title of their MBA to show that they are an expert in one of these industry fields. And as I said, the second year of the program is the opportunity to go out on placement, but we also offer internal placements through our consulting firm, or if students are interested in starting their own businesses, we will support them in a dedicated incubator space where they can start their own businesses, and with support of our Start and Grow Enterprise team, which is part of the business school. So a whole range of choices about that year in industry, should that be attractive to learners. So as I've said, 3 different routes: the opportunity to personalize your study, the opportunity to specialize in key areas that are in demand in the labour market, and a highly unique program in the UK. Fees are the same if you choose to do 2 years or 1 year. So our fees do not change. They are shared. They're the same fee if you're here with us for 2 years or for a single year. And finally, and this goes for all of our postgraduate students, all of our postgraduate students will have access to dedicated placement support, careers consultants, our employability awards, our Your Future Plan program, mentoring, graduate placements, volunteering opportunities to really build that profile that's so important when accessing graduate careers. A whole range of additional benefits of studying at the business school that go across all of our programs. We have a dedicated consulting firm, we have a finance lab, a trading room, consumer behaviour labs that are accessed by a range of postgraduate students across the university. So just to summarise, it's a unique 2-year programme. Learners will have the opportunity to work with a range of industry partners. We have great connections across the UK. And in addition, they will achieve a level 7 diploma in strategic leadership from the Chartered Management Institute at no additional cost. So it's a dual programme, and learners will achieve both awards on completion. So I will stop there and say a huge thank you. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to present the new programme. I'm sure there'll be lots of questions, so do feel free to get directly in contact with me if you wish. We can link in as well if you want to, and we can explore the programs in more detail. So at that point, I will stop sharing, if I can do so. And I will say thank you very much and pass on to my next colleague. Just a moment, there's a couple of questions that have come through, which I'll try and answer very quickly if I may. We do accept experienced graduate applicants for admissions. It's not only for fresh graduates, but we will accept a range of applicants. We specialize in cyber governance and digital transformation. So yes, we do specialize in cyber governance. And for particular entry criteria, it's probably best to work with Carla and team to explore those specific entry criteria. So thank you very much for those questions, and I would welcome further questions if you'd have any afterwards. So we're really proud of the programme, and I will pass over to Shri at this point, if I may. Thank you.
Thanks, Dom, for that.
Thank you,
Say
Dom.
hi, Shri.
Hi, I'm just sharing my screen here. Share. Can you all see my screen? Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, Shri.
Yeah, we can
Fantastic.
see. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Firstly, namaskar. My name is Shri. It's wonderful talking to people from India or associated with India. It's been a long time since I've been to India, literally 10 years plus that I didn't visit India. I was planning to do that last summer, but we know what is going on, so I couldn't do that. But yeah, namaskar. So Dom, fantastic pitch presentation there. That's beautiful. I would try to do my best here. Okay, to introduce myself, firstly, I am the course leader for the MSc Financial Technology program at the University of Gloucestershire. I started my career as a programmer, and then I moved on to banking. So probably I would say that it makes me a person who knows what is fintech. Started career in programming and then moved to finance. So today, my objective, the objective I'm having is, bear with me one moment. It doesn't let me, yeah, there you go. Fantastic. So I'll give you an overview of what is the MSc Financial Technology program that we offer, and the structure and the mode of delivery, etc. So on the right-hand side, what you're seeing today is the business school. As Dom already mentioned, it's a purpose-built school, and worth 18 million pounds. And there in that building is a lab, is a computer lab, and also a trading room where people will be able to fully utilize or apply the concepts that they have learned in this program. So we'll go through what, why, when, and who, etc. about this program in the next 10 minutes. So firstly, people might be thinking, what is fintech? Okay, they have joined two subject areas and made it sound new. Well, you might be partly right about it. It is a new concept, but it's not all that new. Folks in India, you might be knowing that you can transfer money international with a mobile app. That's just an example of fintech. We are able to get loans approved. We are able to do banking transactions using mobile apps. That's just an example. In its simplest form, innovative financial services offerings that disrupt the existing financial services market. That's fintech. The point number 4 that you're seeing at the bottom is what is fintech in simplest words. So something that's happening with the use of technology to the financial services industry, they're getting disrupted. So the banks now, I mean, of course, in the UK, they have geared up and they're starting to take up these new technologies and fight the startups. But it is the new technology that's trying to change the way financial ecosystem operates. So what are these technologies? To name a few, the money transfer, I just said, you could transfer money to USA in the next minute if you want to. You could have an open bank where all your bank accounts are linked to that, and you can see where your money is going to and coming from. You can plan your wealth, you can plan your finances, you can borrow, peer-to-peer borrowing, and you can also decide which insurance policy is the best for you. And there are AIs working behind trying to give you the best option available in these financial services. Just to give you a background of the size of fintechs, I know it's a bit dated 2019 report. I was looking for the latest one, but this is what we have as of now. So you can see that in different countries, the fintechs have a great demand, great market size. And companies that are going to invest into fintech organizations, individuals who want to invest into those organizations, they can expect a huge return on their investment. So we are using fintech, knowingly or unknowingly, in our phones, etc. We are seeing that there's a lot of return on investment, and there are countries that are actually pooling funds into fintech so that they are up to date. Now, why are we doing fintech at the business school? I've run a query and checked how many of professionals in UK work in fintech industry. And I checked that there were around 76,000 employees working in fintech organizations. These are SMEs, small companies. And there are 76,000, and more than 60% of these employees are from offshore. They're coming from abroad, meaning there is a talent gap. So there is capital available. There are companies that are ready to, there are investors, institutional or individual, they're ready to invest into fintechs. There is demand for fintech. There is also UK is developing policies on a daily basis that can adapt to these technologies that are evolving constantly. But the talent gap is there in UK. And that's why we thought, okay, let's have this program here and see how it works. We started this program in September 2021, and thanks to Dom, he got it rolling and running as soon as he joined the school. So you can see that at the first semester, you have 4 modules, the foundations of financial technology, meaning you don't have to be aware of fintech, or you don't need to be knowing what is finance or technology. So we provide you with the basics, the foundations of financial technology. And data plays a very important role. I'll just give you a quick example. The pandemic started last January. Let us suppose that it started in January. There are reports saying that it was much earlier than that. But in January, the pandemic started. I didn't want to mention COVID, but unfortunately, I have to do that. So the pandemic started, and then you see that there are companies, for instance, Zoom that we are using today is not, I mean, people were not even aware of this. Overnight, the CEO of Zoom becomes a billionaire. So the pandemic actually made technology companies boom. How did that happen? If you see Netflix, if you see Amazon, they're able to use the data, and they're able to know what the customers are going to do next. So in the morning, if I'm going to watch a particular serial on the TV, Netflix already knows that. If I'm watching an action movie before I sleep in the evening, they already know that. So that is possible with the ability of these companies to process data. And that is what is introduced in big data in finance. Those are simple examples, but we have a fantastic lecturer there who's going to teach it. I mean, I'm going to show his profile in a bit. He's going to introduce the big data in finance. Then we have blockchain and applications. Who is not interested to know about cryptocurrencies today? Elon Musk is accepting cryptocurrencies for cars. So if you want to go and buy a car, you can actually pay using cryptocurrencies. So another important element there. And financial markets and regulations. There's magic happening in financial markets today. Since the pandemic started, 41% has been the increase in NASDAQ. NASDAQ is a stock market. It's a securities exchange. You can call it share market, etc. Based in USA. And the share value on NASDAQ improved by 41% just in 1 year. Never before in history that happened. And most of the companies that trade on NASDAQ are technology companies. So it is very important for us to understand what's happening in the financial markets. And then we move on to the second semester where you have portfolio management. So once you realize the foundations of financial technology, you know what are financial markets, big data, etc., then you try to build your own portfolio as a student. And then we have financial engineering. How do people come up with these new ideas, new technologies that could disrupt the existing financial ecosystem? And you have AI. These days, when you go onto any banking app, there's a pop-up that comes up and says, hey, can I help you? And we think most of the time that it is a person we are talking to, because that's so well programmed. Those are actually AIs, and you will come across them. And human factors in cybersecurity. So what I wanted to highlight here is this program is not just based in business school. It is a transdisciplinary program where two schools, the School of Computing and Engineering and the School of Business, collaborating together to deliver this program, unlike any other program in the university, as far as I'm aware. And then you have this beautiful, the arrow mark there, outstanding placement for 12 months. The initiative to have a 12-month placement came from MSc Financial Technology program. And all the people who started in September have been successfully placed. And they are earning a placement salary, which was fantastic to know. There were companies actually willing to pay them a salary for going and working for them, even though they are still students. So that's if the students are interested to take up MSc Fintech, I would recommend going through the 24 months program where there is a 12 months placement. That's because they are able to apply their the knowledge, the concepts that have been introduced in the first year during the placement. And of course, you have a dissertation or a business case as an option. Now, all the assignments for these modules that you have seen before, they are having a portfolio of 3,000 words. It's a coursework. It's only one coursework they need to submit per module or equivalent, meaning if they are doing some kind of coding for a module, then the code also can be considered as words, and it is submitted using Moodle. The intakes there are two intakes, the September intake and the January intake, and the program is in demand. And there have been so many applications, and there are firm acceptances also. So please, I would suggest you approach the students and make the applications as early as possible for September, because there are limited spaces there. All the modules will be delivered on campus at Oxtalls at the business school that you have seen the picture of before. And yeah, these are the modes. These are the study options. The first one is a one-year program. People, I would say that is suitable for people, the home students, maybe. But the second one is the best according to me, because like I said, you can apply the concepts that you learned at a real business wherever you get the placement. So there is also part-time option. I'm not aware whether it is available for international students. And also there is an 18 months option. So there are various study options there for the people, depending on their career ambitions, they could pick one. And then people might be thinking, okay, fintech, okay, this is a new thing. What am I going to be after that? What am I going to do after fintech? There are so many, you go into indeed.co.uk, the job site like Monster in India, monster.com in India. There are so many jobs for fintech professionals, people who are just coming out of the university, who are aware of fintech. They're getting an average of £40,000 for being aware of the concepts of fintech, no experience. So there are so many positions that they can take up once they complete their MSc Financial Technology. Now, I spoke about so many things here about my program. I love the program, I'm passionate about it. But at the same time, I realized that people are coming from India. I came from India a long time ago to study here. There are people who are coming from India. When they come here, they'll see that the average temperature here is 30 degrees lower than what it is in India. Well, you have fish and chips, you'll have burgers, you'll have takeaways, but nothing like what you get in India. I mean, I'm not saying these are bad, but these are excellent. By the time the students come from there, they see that the temperature is low, the study is different. We write exams there, but here there are portfolios, assignments, and practical assignments here. So there might be situations where they need more support, and UOG has all that support for all the difficulties that students face, particularly from India. And I'm here too. I can share my experiences and keep them tight until they finish the program. So there is student achievement team. They can take help for their assignments, their help zone for various things. They can go for counseling. They can opt for various other services. We have excellent dedicated teams that would support these students when they come here. And then there you go. These are the guys. Kirsty Blond, senior lecturer. She will do the foundations of financial technology. And we have the big man on the right, Charles Afriyi. I was talking about big data in finance. He's so passionate about it, and he does R programming and Python programming, and he's fantastic in dealing with analyzing data, etc. And you have Sapida, Dr. Hassan teaching AI. Then you have me there at the bottom on the right-hand side, financial markets and regulations. So this is not all the team. We have a lot more, but I thought, let me put them just as an example. So I'm the course leader. You can please feel free to contact me. We have Andy Koch, who is the subject leader. You can contact him as well. He's looking into international, partnerships, etc. So please contact him. He's a wonderful person. Then we have our academic services administrators, whom you can contact as well if you have any queries. The requirement is 2-2, but the link there that I've sent has the details of what would be needed for India particularly. And any questions, please feel free to contact me. I hope I did not bore you. And I would hope to see some students from GUS joining us. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Sri. I think we've just got one question quickly in the chat. You might be able to answer very quickly. A student asking about the background really that students need to have in order to come onto the programme. So they're asking if you come from a commerce background or an engineering or mathematics computing background, is that okay for entry onto the course?
Absolutely. That's a very good question, first of all. And the options mentioned there, commerce, engineering, and mathematics, I believe, they're fantastic. Those are actually going to make it beneficial for the student who will come with those backgrounds. Irrespective of these backgrounds, if the person is having a degree, any degree from a university, it should be okay. Because, like I said, we are going to do the foundations. We will do the foundations of financial technology. There might be people who have a lot of experience in a different area, and they might want to change their career into fintech, because fintech is happening today. And they might be, it's quite obvious that people might want to take up something that is like a hot cake, and that's okay. So please do send their profiles to me if you have any questions on that. I can respond to you immediately about it. So there is no any other requirement than having a degree as such. So that should be fine. We will provide all the foundations required. Thank you.
Great, thanks Sri for a fantastic presentation there. That's brilliant. Well, I think we'll move on to Jun now, who's going to talk about the MSc International Business. If you're able to stop sharing your screen, Sri, and then Jun can start sharing her screen. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm just going to share my screen. Hello, everybody.
Thanks.
Hi. Right, can you see the screen? Can you see my slides?
I think we're still seeing Shri's screen at the moment.
Right.
If Shri can stop sharing his screen.
Shri, get your slides off, please.
Here you go. We can see it now, Jun.
You can see it now. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. So Welcome. It's nice to talk to you guys. And I'm the course leader for international business. Similar to Sri, came here in the UK as a student. I did my MBA here, followed by a PhD. So eventually settled in the UK. I have been teaching UK higher education for almost 10 years now. So originally come from Shanghai, China. So yeah, before came to the UK, I worked in the industry for many years as key account management consultant. So in charge of large company like Carrefour, those kind of companies. But that's just a very quick background of myself. So I'm just be aware of the time we got there. So why us? I think Dom said in his presentation and Sri's, there's every kind of attraction really to our university and to our business school. The beautiful new building, as well as I think the key elements is there is that we really care about our international students. When I designed this particular course, I really had the international students in mind. So that's really embedded in our course design. So we really support our students. I think that reflected in the two presentations before mine. So it's really important. Bear in mind, when you are here, you are really well looked after. This year, the MSc International Business has been very popular with our Indian students. Ever since the course being launched, we've been very successful. So yeah, as a course leader, I have gained a lot of knowledge about India from my Indian students, and we really have a really good laugh and know their name, know their stories, know their families, because a lot of them bring their family along as well. So you will be sure that you will have that one-to-one support from us. I think that is really important, especially if you come a long way to a country where you're not really familiar. Because I'm talking from really my own experience as well, back to 20 years ago. So our philosophy here, who are we looking for? We're really looking for somebody. If you are somebody really want to be the future leader who work in international field, so whether it's doing, set up your own business, working for small SMEs for export or import, or working for multinational companies. So we're really looking for, internationally minded students. That's what we are trying to produce, a future leader with international minded graduates. So that's why the course design and the module we offer is really to help you to gaining experience, gaining knowledge, gaining capabilities, skills to be the future international leader. So you come into, that said, you come into here with internationally minded. So then because your career will be in an international business context, or you can have academic career to research in this subject area if you're thinking about postgraduate research after this. So why us? Why MSc International Business? So similar to the MBA, we are accredited by Chartered Management Institute. So once you finish this master's, you will have a postgraduate certificate in strategic management and leadership, so awarded by CMI. So it's like icing on top of a cake. So you got double degree. So again, we're very passionate academics. Most of us have industrial background, as highlighted in Dom and Sri's presentation. So we're not just talking to you academic theories, but we also implement the theories. So we want you to learn, but learn in a practical way. Okay, so as I said earlier on, when I designed this course, I had international students, the demand from emerging markets in mind, because that's a feedback from our international recruitment. Students want to have experience working in British companies. So that's why we designed this global employability and enterprise placement project. It's embedded in the module. So it's 5 to 10 weeks. It's much shorter placement, but it's embedded in a module. So once you've done this module, you will have your placement experience as well as employability skills. So CV writing, interview skills, and establish you as a person. So packaging yourself, thinking about you as a product, how you're going to market yourself, things like that. So we have 10 weeks employability skills workshop for you to attend before you go on to your placement in the second semester. So again, I think highlighted in previous presentation, we really focus on real business experience. So the modules you take will all have element of life project and business case studies, for example. So various different ways to help you to enhance your knowledge and understanding, not just the theoretical side, but real life implementation. So moving on to course structure, 120 CATs, that's the standard master's degree. 120 CATs of CATs is the credit basically you get. So taught module, you have 8 taught modules, 15 credits each. Then 3 mentioned about dissertation, that's a very big module, that's 60 credits. So I'm just going to talk through very quickly about what the modules we offer there. So compulsory module, as you can see, as a global leader, it's very important for you to know what kind of challenges you might face in the future. So this module, I believe, will be delivered by Dom, our head of school. That's a newly designed module, really up to date with research evidence, as well as up-to-date business examples. And of course, you need to enhance your international business knowledge. We have the dedicated module for that. Global operations management, talking about supply chain, very complex manufacturing in emerging countries like China, India, Bangladesh. So that's very complex issue, which you really need to understand from that module. Then the exciting bit is the cross-cultural issues. How do we know about other culture? How do we interact with individuals, managers, our contacts, clients from other culture? So this module will really enhance your understanding of cultural differences, as well as challenges you would face once you go into your future career. And corporate responsibility really touch the ethical issues of global business expansion. So that's a very topical issue. Sustainability is very kind of topical at the moment. All the multinational companies are very much focused on CSR and sustainability. So dissertation is compulsory as well. So I'm moving on to your optional modules now. You can choose one out of the 2, managing complex project or global employability skills. Now, if some of you might have already had a work experience, you might want to choose managing complex project. But if you really want to have additional work experience, then you can choose 7706, as I explained to you earlier. And choose 2 modules out of the 4 here. So we have a very good selection of modules you can choose. If you're interested in marketing, you can choose strategic marketing, in the international context. Or financial markets, I believe that will be delivered by Sri, who's an expert on financial markets. If you're in international business, you need to have understanding of what's going on internationally. The financial markets really drive, the stock market, etc. Already mentioned by Sri there. Or design thinking innovation, which is again quite topical at the moment. So that's really focused on how company can improve their innovation in order to succeed. So, and international trade law, that's a new module we have adopted. Trade law is really important in terms of contracts, etc. So, yeah, depends on what you prefer. You can choose 2 out of 4. So there's plenty of choices there for you. Future career. So what possible kind of job you can do. As a list of possibility there. International trade, as I said, export, import, or business development. You know, you might be an expatriate managers, you know, sent by your company from India abroad. So we have a lot of Indian companies actually invested in the UK. You know, I wouldn't be surprised students get a job here because, you know, they can work for Indian company and they have the language skills as well. So yeah, marketing or consultancy, HR, supply chain, international finance or banking, because we have all the modules there to support you to secure jobs in those areas. So have a think about what you want to do in the future. Then you can decide which optional module you want to study. So entry requirement 2.2, but we do consider if students got extensive working experience, we have options, we can have a discussion. You might say, okay, if I don't have a business degree, what can I do? Again, it's really down to individual. I tend to kind of invite students over, just have a quick chat. So I have a good feel about you and you can ask questions. So if you did mathematics, so tell me why you're interested in international business. I want to know if you're interested in international business and why you're interested in international business, and tell me some examples. Demonstrate to me that you have business knowledge. If you didn't have a degree, then what else do you know? So yeah, else a standard requirement there. Fees, I think I skipped through that. There's a link there, and this is my contact information. You can email me. I'm pretty fast on replying emails. That's it. Any questions? Ask me then.
Thanks, Jun. That's really great. I'll just give people a few minutes to make a note of your email address there. Yeah. But I think I've just put in the chat, if anybody forgets the emails or whatever, it's easy to remember, india@glos.ac.uk, and I can always forward them on to Dom and Jun and Shri for you.
Yeah, I don't think I have any questions.